Hey everyone, it's Stephen Fung from StephenFung.net and Futurelooks.com, and today we are going to check out my latest accessory for my Canon HF100 camcorder that I haven't actually used very much, unfortunately. But hopefully this little accessory will give me the boost that I need to take it out more often. The problem I've had with the HF100 is that the lens is actually not wide enough, so when I do those .com episodes, I can't really get anyone in the frame because we're so close together. So this accessory, called the WD-H37, is a wide-angle lens for Canon camcorders. Now, it's not actually made for this particular camcorder. It's actually made for the HG20 and 10 series camcorders that use a 37mm thread on the filter size. The HF100, HF10, and HF11 all use the same filter size, but specifies a lens called the WD-H37C. Based on the accounts on the web, there really isn't a whole lot of difference between the two. Some people say that the WD-H37 is a little bit wider, but clearly it's not in the focal respect, but probably physically wider, because I have noticed that the WD-H37 does cover up the flash on the left-hand side of the front of the lens. So if you want to use your HF100 for pictures, you might not be able to use this as a all-the-time lens on your camera. You'll also notice that there's quite a bit of dust on this particular product, mainly because no one knows that this particular lens actually works for the newer camcorders. So we're going to give this a try and see how the results work out for us. Now, before we put the lens on the camera, I just wanted to go through what you actually get with this lens. This lens comes with a Canon lens bag, which is made of some pleather material, a front cap to protect the front of the lens when it's not in use, and a rear cap which threads onto the back of the lens. You also get a instruction sheet, which really doesn't tell you a whole lot than what's really common sense. Basically just thread it on and don't strip the threads, and if you drop it, it's your fault. That's basically about it. As far as the other lenses go, I don't really know if they include any other extra stuff other than what you see here. I was actually looking around and I did notice that there's a new version of this lens out there besides the WD-H37C. There's one called the 37 Mark II or something. I don't know what that lens is all about. Most of the posts for the HF100 in respect to wide-angle lenses has been about this lens, the H37 and the H37C. This lens is also a whole lot cheaper than the H37C. In fact, the H37 was on clearance. Well, not really on clearance, it was actually on a really good deal at Future Shop, and I picked it up for about $119. Compare that to the lowest price I found on the H37C, which was about $169, and that was at one of the lower price retailers back east. And as you can see, it can be quite a great value if you're able to find one. I went back to the Future Shop site to see if I could snag another one, and it looks like they've completely sold out. So you might want to look around on eBay, but you might end up paying a whole lot more. So here's a tripod mounted shot with the HF100 without the H37 lens, wide angle lens. Again, the lens gives you a 0.7x wide angle conversion factor. And this is what you get before installation. So as you can see, there's actually quite a bit of difference. You can now get everything into the frame. You can see clearly the cat, my light box here, everything is now in the shot. This will make it easier for me to film up close, especially when you're at a table with a bunch of people, and just make the HF100 just more usable in tight situations. Again, some people have noticed nothing wrong with this particular converter, but some people have noticed that it actually has some barrel distortion when it's fully zoomed out. So I'm just going to quickly zoom this onto my dinosaur here, and that's about as close as we can get. Picture looks pretty good. I don't really notice too much of a problem, but unfortunately the surface is curved here. Let me just kind of move it over to the camera, and we'll zoom out and then in again. And you know, to me, there you go, that's all the way in. To me, that looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain, especially since I can use the camera in a lot more places now versus before, where I'd have to stand all the way back or stick the camera all the way behind my head just so that I can film the person next to me. So, you know, regardless of whether or not there is barrel distortion anywhere on the lens, it's a trade-off that I'm willing to live with. So there you go. So if you can find one of these online, and you can get it for a good price versus the more expensive versions, i.e. the H37C or the H37C, or is it C or Mark II? I think it's called the Mark II. Then you should definitely pick this up. Might be hard to find, but again, I paid about $120 Canadian for it, plus tax, which is a really good deal, and that saved me a lot of money, and I'm going to be able to enjoy my HF100 a little bit more. This is Stephen Fung signing off for myself, and we'll see you in the next video.